Hello, here is the news at this hour from Tstv. I am Olaide Amosu. Here are some major headlines. Even as opposition party, you are a failure, or your PDP blasts APC. Federal government, private varsities conspiring against public varsities, says ASUU. On the foreign scene, Saudi to ease international flight restrictions from September 15th. And in sports, ATLETICO Madrid coach SIMEONE tests positive for COVID-19. Now the news in details. Following heavy rainfall in Ibadan on Friday, residents of Araromi Okeomi Kumakbai area of Egbedo local government in Ibadan have raised alarm over what they describe as government negligence towards disaster prevention. Speaking over the Friday rainfall incident, some of the residents noted several efforts have been made to get attention of the government to the area before the return of the rainy season, adding that Governor Seyi Makinde and officials of National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA) had visited the area on several occasions to see the level of damage rainfall has caused residents of the area. The residents explained further that following the visit of the officials of NEMA, hope came alive because they were assured that the situation would be addressed urgently, but nothing has yet been done after their visits. However, they appealed to the state government under the leadership of Governor Seyi Makinde to come to their rescue before it gets too late, stressing that the recent heavy downpour is a pointer to what lies ahead, according to early prediction of Nigeria Meteorological Agency (NIMET), stating that 7 different communities are all connected to a single bridge, which is the only road interconnecting the communities, making it absolutely impossible for residents in the area to move from one community to another once there is heavy rain. The Oyo State chapter of People's Democratic Party (PDP) has reacted to a comment credited to the state chapter of All Progressive Congress over the opposition party's statement over the weekend. The ruling party, in a statement signed by its state publicity secretary, Engineer Akim Olatunji, on Saturday and made available to newsmen, described the opposition group, which called itself All Progressives Congress Professionals (APCP), an association of clowns with no basic knowledge of issues they attempted dabbling into. Oyo State PDP wondered if the group was a splinter group or breakaway body from the known state chapter of APC, adding that such act is a clear manifestation of failure and a disappointment to the people of Oyo State who had rejected the party in all totality. The ruling party expressed its disappointment in the way and manner Oyo State chapter of APC is going about performing its role as opposition, stressing that handlers of the party needed to be specially trained in the art of performing its duties outside of government. The statement added that Governor Makinde is too busy and committed to repositioning Oyo State from the shambles it inherited from the last administration under APC. The statement emphasized with the state chapter of APC for having to cope with the pain of playing opposition in the state while ruling at the federal level on a controversial mandate. The ruling party in the statement explained that it was really unfortunate that APC in Oyo State was a successfully failed political party in government, and as opposition party stressing that instead of rebuilding its battered party, continued to deplete and degenerate into various political groups. The Academic Staff Union of Universities (ASUU) has said the federal government is conspiring with owners of private universities to demarket public universities in the country. According to a statement by ASUU President Abiodun Ogunyemi, the conspiracy had led to the proliferation of private varsities and deliberate underfunding of public universities belonging to the federal and state governments. Ogunyemi stressed that ASUU's position on the Integrated Personnel and Payroll Information System (IPPIS) remained the same, stating that the IPPIS has created so much tension that the Nigerian government has elevated it above the main demands. The federal government has on Sunday advised state governments to take proactive and other mitigating measures to reduce the effects of heavy rainfall and flooding on the people. Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Hajia Sadia Umar Farouk, gave the advice in a statement in Abuja by her Special Assistant in Media, Mrs. Nneka Anibeze. Umar Farouk said the states that will experience heavy rainfall and possible flooding this year include Borno, Yobe, Gombe, and Rivers State, among others. The minister urged the states to identify high grounds to be used as camps for the evacuation of possible internally displaced persons, and to shelter evacuated communities, advised them to organize humanitarian coordination to prepare all stakeholders for mitigation and response, as well as requests for materials for prompt responses after the floods. Moving on to the foreign scene, Saudi Arabia will partially lift its suspension on international flights from September 15th. The Interior Ministry said on Sunday, 6 months after travel curbs were imposed due to the coronavirus pandemic. The kingdom will end all restrictions on air, land, and sea transport for Saudi citizens after January 1st next year, the ministry added, without specifying an exact date. The ministry said in a statement that Gulf citizens and non-Saudis with valid residency permits or visas will be allowed to enter the kingdom from September 15th, as long as they are not infected with the virus. However, other exceptional categories, including government and military employees, foreign embassy workers, and people requiring medical treatment, would also be allowed from September 15th. The ministry also added that Saudi Arabia will later announce a plan to gradually allow the Umrah pilgrimage. Israel's government has announced it would impose a 3-week nationwide lockdown in an effort to stem one of the world's highest novel coronavirus infection rates after a surge in cases. The lockdown order, set to go into effect on Friday, makes Israel the first developed economy to take such a drastic measure to curb a second wave of virus infections. According to newsmen, Israel had initially been widely praised for curbing the spread of the COVID-19 disease by imposing a stringent lockdown in March, but it is now second only to Bahrain for the world's highest coronavirus infection rate per capita. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced the government decision, saying the cabinet had agreed a strict lockdown plan for 3 weeks, with an option that it would be extended, adding that the goal is to stop the increase and to reduce the contagion, which has crossed the threshold of 4,000 new cases a day. The lockdown is set to begin from 1100 on Friday, just hours before the start of the Jewish New Year and the high holidays, which also include the Day of Atonement and Sukkot. Moving on to the world of sports, Atletico Madrid coach Diego Simeone has tested positive for COVID-19, the club announced on Saturday. Simeone, who's 50, is isolated at home and has not presented symptoms. Atletico's squad and staff returned early from a pre-season trip to Los Angeles this summer fell just outside Madrid after a test on Thursday, which came back positive. However, further tests on Friday showed Simeone had caught the virus. The club in a statement said the analysis of these new samples in the laboratory has determined that trainer Diego Pablo Simeone has given a positive result for COVID-19, stating that the coach does not present any symptoms and is at his home, isolated and fulfilling the corresponding quarantine after being with the team since last Monday. Atletico's first La Liga match against Granada is not scheduled to be played until September 27th, as the club have been given extra time off before starting the season. Serena Williams withdrew from the Women's Tennis Association clay court tournament that begins today in Rome due to a left Achilles tendon injury sustained in her US Open semi-final defeat. Williams, chasing her record-tying 24th Grand Slam single crown, lost to Victoria Azarenka in 3 sets on Thursday on the Arthur Ashe Stadium hard court. The former world number 1, a 4-time Rome champion, joins 2019 US Open winner Bianca Andreescu and 2-time Wimbledon winner Petra Kvitova, skipping the tune-up for the French Open, which will begin on September 27th. Top-ranked Ashley Barty withdrew from Rome early in the week, while the Australian star saying she will shut down her season due to coronavirus concerns and travel restrictions. With that, we've come to the end of the news, a recap of the headlines. Even as opposition party, you are a failure for your PDP blast APC. Federal government private varsities conspiring against public varsities, says ASUU. On the foreign scene, Saudi to ease international flight restrictions from September 15th. In sports, Atletico Madrid coach Simeone tests positive for COVID-19. Please do not forget to always adhere to COVID-19 safety measures. The news was compiled by Mobola Balekale. I am Olaide Amosi. Good day and thank you for watching.